minutes. Those in attendance described it as a peaceful event up until this point, when a Lancaster City police officer shoved a journalist to the ground. Today, CBS 21's Elise Person spoke to that journalist in a television exclusive about what led up to that moment and how she's doing today.
Hi, Jasmine. Well, yes, so this is the square behind me here where Susan Stava was shoved to the ground by a Lancaster City police officer. But I want to show you this platform behind me here. So this is where protesters were standing on Sunday evening. That ultimately led to Susan being pushed to the ground by this police officer. But Susan tells me she has over 30 years of covering these types of events, rallies, protests. She says she's never experienced what happened to her on Sunday. And so today I got the chance to catch up with her about how she's healing and how she wants to see some big changes come to the Lancaster City Police Bureau.
I had been to many rallies. I've been to the MAG marches. I've been to January 6th. I've been to a lot of places. You know, I've never been pushed. Let's just put it that way.
This here is the moment Susan Stava is referring to, where she was shoved to the ground by a Lancaster City police officer while covering the Trump rally on Sunday.
It was probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock, I think. Trump was already inside the convention center, and we saw that there was some Democratic Harris-Walz protesters up at the square. And they had their signs up, and then there was this, which I started photographing, this group of Trump protesters that decided to come over and were a little more aggressive. And they were actually a bunch of young kids, and they were trying to cover the signs. You know, they were throwing them the finger, and they were giving the dry fist.
Stava says this is the moment she felt the energy shift in the square. She says she turned her back for a second.
All of a sudden, one of them yelled that her friend was being arrested. And I said, I'll get a photo of her. That's what I do, you know. And I ran around. I was going to run over to the other side. And all of a sudden, I just was thrown to the ground.
Stava described it as being in a car accident.
You know, in a car wreck, you're in shock, and it takes you a few minutes to figure out who and what and where you are. I had a huge bump on the back of my head. My arm had a huge, has a big black and blue mark on it from getting slammed.
And now she says she's calling on the Lancaster City Police Force to put in proper training protocols.
To me, this person wasn't trained well. And he said that they were down in the police department. They said, oh yeah, we've all been trained. But I think there needs to be a lot more attention to this.
And the Lancaster City Police Bureau says that they're investigating the incident. I also reached out to the Lancaster City mayor for her comment. I was told that she cannot comment because this investigation is still ongoing. Live in Lancaster City, Elise Person, CBS 21 News.